So many of us live comfortably, secure in our routines, feeling safe in what we know. But while the comfort zone feels safe, it can also become a place of limitation, a space where dreams are set aside, growth is stunted, and the mind rests rather than reaches. Today, let's explore the journey from the comfort zone to the growth zone and understand why risk is an essential part of life. To grow, we must step beyond what we know. Growth is not possible if we never stretch ourselves, never challenge the limits of what feels safe. It's like a bird learning to fly. At some point, it must leave the nest. And while that first leap may be terrifying, it's the only way it learns to soar. Imagine a calm, still lake. The water there is safe, predictable, and unchanging. It's peaceful, yes, but it's also stagnant. This is like the comfort zone, a place where things remain the same. There is no danger, but there is also no growth. We do the same things each day, live in the same routines, and after a while, we forget that there is a world beyond this calm lake. Living in comfort is appealing. We're not challenged, we're not afraid. But without challenge, how do we grow? We cannot develop resilience if we never experience difficulty, and we cannot build confidence if we never face fear. Risk, when approached mindfully, is like stepping into a flowing river. It is uncertain, it may be turbulent, but it is alive, full of possibility. Growth lies beyond the known, in the realm of the uncertain. Every time we take a risk, big or small, we push ourselves closer to that potential. I recall when I first began my training as a monk. It was far from comfortable. There were rigorous routines, strict discipline, and many unknowns. I was uncertain, sometimes even fearful, wondering if I could withstand the challenge. But each step, each risk taken, brought me to a new understanding of myself. I realized that the greatest growth comes not when we avoid fear, but when we embrace it. Look at a tree. It starts as a small seed buried in the dark soil. For it to grow, it must push through the earth, reaching toward the light. It faces wind, storms, and seasons of drought. And yet, it grows, becoming stronger, rooted in resilience. It would never become a towering tree if it stayed safe beneath the soil. Taking risks is like being that seed. To discover your strength, to understand your own potential, you must break through the soil of comfort. Yes, there may be storms, there will be difficulties, but with each challenge, your roots grow deeper, your branches stretch higher. Fear is natural. When we face the unknown, fear arises. But fear is not a sign to stop. It is a reminder that we are at the edge of our comfort. The mind says, what if I fail? But I say, what if you grow? The greatest growth happens when we are willing to be vulnerable, to risk failure, to face uncertainty. Many years ago, I met a man who dreamed of starting his own business. But he was afraid. What if it doesn't work? What if I lose everything? He asked. My answer was simple. What if you gain everything? That leap brought him success, but more than that, it gave him a confidence he never knew he had. Even if he had failed, he would have discovered a strength within himself. Taking risks does not mean being reckless. It means taking calculated steps, considering our path but moving forward despite the uncertainty. Begin with small steps, small actions that stretch your comfort just a little. Ask yourself, what is one thing I have always wanted to try but have been too afraid to start? Begin there. Perhaps it is learning a new skill, or reaching out to someone, or exploring a new place. Small steps create momentum, and as we become more comfortable with risk, we become more comfortable with growth. Remember, you don't have to leap into the unknown all at once. The path to the growth zone is a gradual journey, but it is a journey that requires courage. In this journey, remember that failure is not the end. It is simply a part of the process. When we take risks, there is always a chance of failure. But each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher. If we approach it with a calm mind, we find that each setback shows us something valuable. When I failed in my early practice as a monk, I learned patience, humility, and the power of resilience. These qualities were not taught in comfort. They were taught through challenge. Embrace failure as a teacher, not a barrier. Leaving the comfort zone is not just about facing fear or enduring hardship. It's also about finding a deeper joy, a joy that comes from discovering what lies beyond limitation. Every time we take a risk, we expand our sense of what is possible. True happiness does not come from staying safe. It comes from knowing that you have lived fully, that you have explored, that you have grown. Life is meant to be lived, and we can only truly live if we are willing to step beyond our comfort. My friends, life is vast and filled with opportunities, but to truly grow, to discover the vastness within ourselves, we must be willing to step beyond the known. Let comfort be a place of rest, but not a place of dwelling. Each time you step out of comfort, you step into possibility. Subscribe for more insights and wisdom, and if this message resonates with you, take one step today. Just one step out of your comfort zone. You might just discover a new part of yourself,